So luckily on the mics it doesn't pick up, but on the video it's like, oh, God.
That crackling noise is just Garth's, what do you call that? Not closing a door.
So what are we going to call this episode? What are we calling this? Alrighty, what are we calling this episode? Walk more.
Johnny Walker.
How much pressure can you put on your foot?
None.
Why is it so swollen still?
I don't know.
Or is that just your fat foot?
It's been a tough time, guys.
That thing's very ugly. Have you taken a photo of it and posted it?
I
Just while you got your foot up there,
Foot finder.
just take your phone and take a photo of that.
I get paid to take my feet off the internet.
That's terrible.
All right, talking about walking, benefits of walking.
Something
Neil-
simple, something easy that people should probably do a little more of.
I broke my foot while walking, so
Be careful. It
be
is
careful.
dangerous.
Yeah, this is not a low risk sport. Walking.
So what I realized is that
Do you know what the most dangerous sport in the world is? Like deaths per sport. Take a guess. Have you ever seen lawn bowls?
what?
Lawn bowls.
But that's because they're old.
They're so old. They're like most deaths per sport.
But is that because what, like on the actual
average
play?
age.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So like in play.
Yep. Yep.
But that's because they're all average age 92.
I'm just saying walking's not safe.
No, so on a serious note, so I was playing, so like I said, I took the kids for a little bit of a walk the other night. While they were playing in the jungle gym, a couple of youngsters were playing some footy just on the field. And there were 4-3, so I just joined the team and I started playing some footy just because I haven't been running around. And I even said to Chris the other day, I'm like, I need to start playing a sport again where I'm running, moving, walking, jogging constantly for an hour,
Yep.
actually just moving for an hour. And that brings us back to walking. Just get out your house, walk around the block, go back inside, carry on with whatever you're doing,
Why do we need to walk more, Neil? What's the benefits of walking?
Well, for most people nowadays, from a very sedentary lifestyle, that's just going to be bringing up your non-exercise sort of activity. So
Neat.
is the word. Correct.
Non-exercise activity thermogenesis.
Thermogenesis.
So this is basically calories burnt while not exercising. So doing human shit. That's what neat
like
is.
if you are only working 5,000 steps a day and you should be doing, say, on average 8 to 10,000 sort of minimum, like let's say that affords you an extra 200 calories a day. By the end of a week, that's 1,400 calories. For some people, that could be a day's worth of food that you would have burnt off if you just did a couple extra steps a day.
Yeah.
Which is huge over a year's time. Like that could be the difference between you gaining 5 kilos in a year or not potentially.
So it's volume on your lifestyle. So your lifestyle's got to just be a little bit more active. And it's like we're joking about it, walking, because we obviously very active people just on an average day. I mean, played paddle today, did this, going to go coach another 3 hours now, whatever it is. Yesterday you played 2 paddle game and squeezed in something else. So, just in general, you're obviously doing nothing at the moment, but like just in general.
No, bro. I was flipping on the assault bike this morning, 1 foot up.
Is it?
Assault bike pull-ups.
Listen, when I got you, you did 45 single foot
44
steps,
hops.
So,
you must see
that
me.
adds.
Bro, yeah. Every time I go to the toilet, it's a workout.
So what can we do advice-wise? So if you got your watch, set up a step goal.
Agreed.
This thing bugs me actually. It's like, oh, I've reached my goal, but it's only 10 o'clock in the morning. But that's what you want to do. You want to, I think it's actually the other day. When was it? It was that day I was playing soccer. It popped up, boop, reached my goal. I'm like, oh, there we go. Got the steps in, but I just played a random footy game. But there's also, to take us through just the actual, so there's something with your like leg structure as well, your soleus muscle.
Yep.
Yeah. And that actually increases just metabolic function.
It does.
Yeah. So
So-
skipping's a good thing. So
It is. So you
Like-
see these people, I'm not doing this foot, but they've got this restless leg. It bounces like this, irritates the shit out of me when people do this. But anyway, those people burn up to 1,800 calories a day more than people who don't bounce. Just this
little twitch.
because your calf muscles have more mitochondria than anything else in the body. That just makes sense because we have to walk a lot. So whatever. But point being, non-exercise activity thermogenesis is the primary calorie burning structure, if I can call it that. 10% of what you burn in your day will come from your workout. it's really not very beneficial to go and work out from a calories burned perspective. That's really not why you work out. Anyone who's working out to burn calories, I really think it's worth coming to see us, because you really are doing yourself a disservice. That's not what it's about. But increasing NEAT, or non-exercise activity thermogenesis, throughout the day is monstrous. NEAT is about 60% of your calories. So if you can just increase that, like Neil says, slightly, over time it compounds dramatically. And non-exercise activity thermogenesis, the one thing, or should we say walking, is one, I would say, of the only things that you can do that doesn't detract from recovery from exercise. If you had a heavy leg day and your legs are stiff, walking's going to help. It's going to loosen that up. It's going to increase blood flow. It's not going to set you back.
But I mean, even for athletes, you can put on a weighted vest and go walk. Like, you can actually see it as a recovery day where you're actually getting benefit. Then normally benefits from walking are kind of tenfold, because then you're outside because you're walking. You can put music on to try and get your brain to just be distracted even further. Or you can go into a forest and walk. You can do it with multiple ages. I can go walk with my gran. I can go walk with my mom. The three of us can go walk together. I can take my kids in to go bike ride. So it's normally coupled then with another brain function that's going to make you feel better.
For sure.
Things like that.
Like,
So,
if you're walking at midday, you're going to get vitamin D exposure. If you're walking morning or evening, you're going to get low angle light exposure. That helps with your circadian rhythms. It's really like the most underrated form of exercise by quite a long shot.
so I always see on my way to, when I say school in the morning, but drop the kids and then come to work, there's a couple that has their little sticks. So they got their walking sticks, and they're jawling, and they come up past the gym there. And they used to be members of mine. And it's nice to see that, because they are a little bit older. There's three ladies. They're in like this, and they got their little climbing sticks. Like, okay, it's a bit too much. It's a bit like exaggerated to have the little sticks.
But if it makes them do it,
and they and I'm just like I've stopped once or twice to like greet them, morning, how's it? Because they were members of mine. And it's awesome to see them still doing something. It's not what I want them to be. I want them to be at the gym, still hitting out a session or whatever it is, but they're doing something, you know.
They feel like they can do that. That's awesome. So how do we walk more? Give me some practical tips, Neil.
Well, park a little further away. Take the stairs
Park
instead
far from you, wherever.
Far
Take
away.
the furthest parking that you
I
can.
park further away so that kids don't slam the doors into other cars, firstly, but also just for that. And it's calming. I get out the car, there's X amount of time to get into the mall or whatever it is, just to de-stress from the trip of the kids in the car or whatever it is, you know. And it's just
So I would say selectively try and pick the furthest parking you can. Yep. And then you were saying stairs instead of escalator.
Stairs instead of escalators.
So is that a rule of yours? Do you ever take an escalator? Ever?
No, once, twice. But if there's stairs, easy accessible, then that'll...
I still walk up the escalator. I'll take it, but I'll
Still
walk
cheating.
up it. Well, I'm
You take like 5 steps and
I'm getting there quicker.
It's a race.
It's efficient.
For time.
And it's fun with the kids. Okay, we do the escalator. 'cause
Let's
it's
walk
fun
down
with
an
the kids.
escalator. God, that's fun with the kids.
I'll
You get
do that
more
next
steps.
time. I actually saw the escalator. Those things are on timers now. So the one at Woolies there in Durhamville, it actually slows down.
Yes.
And
to
then I
save
was like, is this
electricity.
thing broken or whatever it is? And then as I get on, it speeds up. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, hello.
Nice. Fancy.
What other ways, Neil? What other ways
Oh,
do you...
Join a group that is walking, like you spoke about, those old ladies, or, you know, get a dog that needs to be walked. That's an easy one. I know the minute I got my dog and I was doing an extra couple of thousand steps a day, I actually had to increase my food intake at that point because it was causing me to lose a little too much weight. But, you know, there's different ways in which one can achieve that. Or like, hey, I enjoy listening to music, like you said, put some music on, go for a walk. If you're taking a phone call, instead of sitting down doing that, walk around while you're talking, you know. And, you know, like I said, there's so many benefits, like we spoke about, sunshine, outdoors, everything else. Like, you can make that an activity with your family. Let's go out to have a communication. How was your day? Have a good conversation. Make a date with someone instead of meeting at a coffee shop. Like, hey, let's grab a coffee, but let's go for a walk. You know, you don't have to be sitting down. You know, like we said, buy a watch, have something to track you, set yourself a little bit of a goal. You know, put a podcast on, learn something while you're going for a walk. Another 2-in-1 scenario where you're getting the benefit of 2 things. You know, so whatever fits in with your lifestyle, find something that just gets you up on your feet and moving.
I think killing time is the biggest one there. So, I mean, like, do something where you can kill time and you're also just walking. So anything. Like, I like the meeting on there. Like, guys, go to a coffee shop and sit down for an hour, hash something out. Yeah, you might need to show a presentation on your laptop, whatever it is. But, I mean, go walk for 40 minutes, get back to where you are, and then for 20 minutes, finish up the meeting, you know, or hash out the information that you wanted to show, you know. I'm always trying to get guys meeting at the gym because then it's after their session, or then I force them into an extra session. So if I'm trying to meet someone from the gym, it's like, hey, come to Saturday's class. We'll meet afterwards, you know, because then I'm forcing them into another session, training session that day or whatever it is. So I think try and get a buddy to join you. And I mean, we all know someone that needs to do this. So start doing that. I mean, get that person, meet them, you know, for a walk twice a week or whatever it is. I think a good one is that Vix was walking after work now just to try and get out, and now she's running. And I'm like, that's cool. So you might get someone into something that you never thought they would do.
Yeah.
Now she's actually like, oh, I couldn't get to my thing because I worked late. I'm pretty bummed that I didn't go run tonight. So now you've actually tweaked that person from walking into running into actually, you know, downloading Strava and starting to track her time. You know, like it's silly.
And walking is also one of those things that you can't really find an excuse to not do. Like you don't, let's say I don't have time to do my walk today. You do. You could have taken a business call while you were walking. You could have, you know, called your mom while you were walking. Whatever it is that you had to do that day, there's going to be something that required communication, booking flights, whatever that was. You can do that while you're walking.
I think also, so now you're saying like you had an excuse why you didn't walk. Plan your day. You have to plan your week, plan your day. Plan your day to have a routine that includes something. Exercise is obviously one of them. Cold showers, ice baths. Like you got to plan your week. And I think plan how you include walking into your week. You know, if you're going to have to be at the office, Nikki's a air traffic controller. In her breaks, she should go walk around. And she does. She trains outside there. So, but she's planned it, you know. So plan these things to try and get walking into your day a little bit better.
Yeah, but nowadays you also get walking like treadmills that you can put at your desk and stand and walk while you're moving. I mean, the same thing can be used to while you're watching your TV show. Just get on a treadmill and walk while you're doing it. You know, so it's one of those things which are easy enough to put into, you know, a couple of different places in your life.
Or skipping. Can I include skipping there? Like grab a skipping rope, do a bunch of skipping?
The problem that you have with this is now you're going to start running into things of, does this now influence my recovery of other things? Let's say you're an athlete who runs or whatever. Now you've got some trauma and now you stiffen the calves or whatever. Sure, you can do any activity. Yeah. You could do sit-ups if you want. It would make no difference. But the point of walking is that it always improves whatever it is that you're trying to heal from, always. And it can always be done. Let's say you have a terrible night's sleep. You're probably not going to go to a CrossFit session the next day. Maybe you should, but in general, people are not going to do that. You're not going to excuse yourself from a walk. Oh, I didn't sleep well. I'm not going to go for my casual walk. No one's that soft, you know. It's like... That's the beauty of walking. It's not an event. It's not like skipping or I'm going to get in the assault bike and do half hour, or I'm going to go swim and get my. You can literally stand up now and go walk.
Just go walk. I think the nice thing, which just brings me back, is just a family thing. Like my grand, she's got a bad ankle. She broke it playing bowls. We were talking about that. She broke it playing bowls. She was coming down the steps or whatever it is. Had massive surgery. So now she struggles to walk, but she can still at least walk. So, I mean, I can go with my kids all to Granny. We can go for a casual walk around the block, you know. So, I mean, it's something that you can bring families together with, that of all ages and of all levels, and then get into the environment, like into, I don't know, go walk Magic Forest or go walk through a nice little area that's shady as well. You can find a shady walk for Granny.
Nice.
Yeah. Lekker.
Just like social media, the barrier to entry is low. You just
do it.
Just do it. It's right there on your fingertips.
The benefits are massive. Just before we close out, I'll say one thing. I've got this patient who came to me because he's been feeling unwell. He's around 60 years old. And we did his blood profile fully. And he had terrible, terrible damage to a lot of his organs. And we do a lot of calculations with ratios of different things. And basically his predictor for being dead in the next 5 years was 80%. So odds not great. So next 5 years, you got an 80% chance of dying, which is a sad thing to have to tell someone. And we had a moment and whatever. Get out. But the one thing I said to him is, you're too unhealthy to exercise. Walk every day. Non-negotiable. Every single day. Spend 2 months and his mortality is halved.
Oh, wow.
In 2 months from walking. Okay, obviously this guy is now super motivated, so he stopped drinking, he's eating better. There are other factors, but the only activity we changed was introducing walking.
Oh. So step one, if you've got someone around you that needs help.
Step one, take a step one.
Step to success.
Steps to success.
T-shirt idea.
We've got to get some merch out, so let's do that. Step one. We'll just put like a foot.
A foot, yeah.
A single foot. Yeah. All right, guys. Shot,
cool.
Man.
All right.
Another cool little chat.
Let's wrap it up.
Thanks, guys.